Let's get to the starting lineup first for the Beat Diggers. They go with sophomore Austin Garcia, along with juniors Jake Brown, Randy Baker, Jeffrey Dunker, and senior Mitch Tormolen. And for Sterling, it's an all-senior starting lineup of 5'11" Jay Keel, along with 6'3" Connor Carey, 6'6" Colin Sanger, 6'5" Lucas Lindgren, and 6'4" Matt McNear. The Beat Diggers are going to have to run because this team is tall. Again, they faced this type of height this year, especially with Bishop Matchbuff. Very tall team, but the Beat Diggers ran them out of the gym in Denver. Opening tip brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance with locations in Brush and Fort Morgan. Ingmeyer Phillips can help you with home, car, health, or life insurance questions or needs. Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance, Mitch Tormolen jumping center, and the tip is controlled by Sterling, as it was controlled by Colin Sanger. With the basketball on the outside left is Carey. Back out to Lindgren here in the left corner is Carey again. In the lane, pulling up from 10. The shot is off the back of the rim. And Mitch Tormolen has the rebound. It was missed over there by Jay Keel. Here come the Beat Diggers into the front court. Dunker right of the lane. Back out to Garcia. In the right corner for Dunker, dribbling to his left. Back to Garcia. Guarded very closely over there by Keel. Garcia to his left against Keel. Swings it left side to Tormolen. Beat Diggers will be patient with the basketball, knowing the Sterling defense is very good. Here's Baker at the top, right of the lane, spinning in the lane. Looking down low, feeds Dunker. Dunker up and under, banks and scores. Jeffrey Dunker off the feed from Randy Baker, and the Beat Diggers up 2-0. Into the front court, here comes Keel for Sterling. On the outside left is Sanger. Now here on the left baseline against Mitch Tormolen is Matt McNear. Back out to Sanger. He runs into Brown. Looked like a traveling violation. They're going to say a foul on the floor instead. Wow. And that foul is against Brush.
Well, that could have gone either way. I mean, he got a little hip check bump, but also the Sterling player decided to throw his arm out straight. So it could have gone either way. So they both have to be careful.
Austin Garcia commits the foul. Inbounds pass to Lindgren, and then the ball's taken away by Jeffrey Dunker. First turnover of the game. Dunker on the outside left, dribbling left baseline. Bounce pass down low to Brown. He puts it up, an air ball. He double clutched, and he missed the shot. Lucas Lindgren with a rebound for Sterling. Into the front court. Here's Colin Sanger on the outside right, dribbling against Brown in the lane. Tries to scoop it up and in. Nice job by Colin Sanger, and the game is deadlocked at 2. 6.5 to go in the opening quarter. Dunker into the front court for Brush. Men at the top on the high right to Garcia. Garcia at the top for Baker. Baker right of the lane, in the lane, scoops it up off the glass and too strong, and the rebound is controlled by Lindgren, his second board, the outlet to Keel. Brush 2, Sterling 2, 6:50 to go in the opening quarter. With the basketball is Colin Sanger on the outside left to Keel. Gets a pick from McNear at the free throw line. Back out straight away. Long three in the air is in and out. And the ball is loose. Looked like Randy Baker had it. And it's going to be a tie-up between Baker and Matt McNear. And the Beat Diggers will have the basketball since Sterling did win the opening tip. Austin Garcia to throw it in as that three-pointer was missed over there by Connor Carey. So here comes Dunker the other way with 6 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Brush 2, Sterling 2. I have a feeling this could be a low-scoring game, Jen.
I would concur with that statement.
Baker gets a pick. 16-footer in the air is a brick, and the ball is knocked out of bounds. Looked like it went off of Dunker. It did. And it will be Sterling basketball. And here comes Kyle Rosenbrock into the game for Jake Brown. And Rosenbrock was a notable absentee on Saturday because he was participating in the Regional Wrestling Championships, and he'll be there at the Pepsi Center on Thursday.
And both teams look like they're going to stick in a man-to-man.
Here's Keel, jump pass, right baseline, back out to Keel. His three is up, and that's good for Jay Keel on the left wing as they move the ball around very quickly. Lindgren back to Keel, 5-2 Sterling. 5.5 to go in the opening quarter. Garcia bounce pass on the outside left to Baker. Baker gets a pick from Tormolen, left of the lane, spinning. Back out to Dunker. Dunker with the basketball towards the free throw line. Hands it off to Baker. Baker dribbles right in the lane. He's going to have to take it right back out. Maintains the dribble. Back to Garcia. Garcia against Keel, dribbling to his right. Picks up the dribble. Looking. Ball nearly stripped. And then Garcia was tied up. Possession arrow pointing in Sterling's direction. And Garcia got a little bit too careless with the basketball. Sterling ball. And to throw it in will be Lucas Lindgren. Sterling leading 5-2, approaching the 5-minute mark of the opening quarter. And here comes Jay Keel with a basketball for the Tigers, met by Dunker at midcourt. Chest pass on the outside right to Ethan Rose into the game. Back out to Lindgren on the outside left to Keel. Down low for McNear, bodied up by Tormolen. Turns, shoots, and he scores off the back of the rim, and it went in. A friendly roll for McNear, and Sterling is on a 7-0 run. Sterling 7, Brush 2, 4:40 to go. In the opening quarter, Baker with a basketball near the top to Rosenbrock, dribbles by a defender, outside right to Baker. Baker at the free throw line now, retreats behind the three-point line. Baker maintains the dribble out to Garcia. Garcia dribbling to his left. On the outside right to Baker. Baker with a basketball into the lane. He fades from 12, and that's off the back of the rim, and the ball is tipped around into the hands of Lucas Lindgren, his third rebound. The outlet to Jay Keel. Keel met by Dunker at midcourt. Back out over there to Lucas Lindgren. Lindgren against Baker. Bounce pass to Keel. Keel cross court to Rose. Met by Garcia. Beattiggers in a man-to-man right now. On the outside left, Lindgren with a basketball against Baker. Looking down low for McNear. Can't find him. Dribbles to his right. Back out to the timeline to Rose. Outside left here is Colin Sanger. Sanger into the lane. Forces up a shot. And he's going to be tied up. Possession arrow goes to Sterling. Is that right? If he was tied up, I thought when Austin Garcia got tied up, that went over to Sterling.
We had two of them. We had the other one down here as well.
Okay. Now, I guess I lost track. No, it is to Brush. That's what I'm saying. When Garcia got tied up, that went to Sterling, and now this should go to Brush. I don't know why Sterling was about to throw that in. So it is Brush basketball. I'm not as crazy as I thought it was. All right, so it's Bryce Needens with a basketball. He's just into the game. Jump pass to Tormolen at the free throw line. Tormolen out there with Cranston. Tormolen behind the three-point line. Outside right to Cranston. Fakes the three. Steps in. Bounce pass to Tormolen. Tormolen's going to hand it off to Rosenbrock. Rosenbrock with 3:28 to go in the opening quarter. Sterling 7, Brush 2. The Beatniggers have not scored in nearly 4 minutes. Dunker with a basketball. Down low for Cranston. Bounce pass to Dunker all the way. Scoops it up and in. Off the glass. Cranston to Dunker, who's got all 4 points. Sterling 7, Brush 4. 3:10 to go in the first. With the basketball, it's Lindgren on the outside left to Rose against Cranston. Dribbling into the lane. Back out to Keel. 3 in the air is good. And Jay Keel looks like he's going to be a killer from three-point range. Sterling now leads by 6. 10-4 under 3 minutes to go in the first. Cranston on the outside left with the basketball. Gets a pick from Dunker towards the corner. Takes a 3, and that is in and out. And the rebound is controlled by Colin Sanger of Sterling. Outlet pass to the wide-open Lindgren, who lays it up and in off the glass. Ken Garcia wants a timeout. I don't blame him. That was terrible defense by the Beatniggers. That timeout brought to you by Greg Bond at State Farm Insurance. Let the State Farm Insurance office of Greg Bond and Brush help you find the best policy to fit your life. Home, auto, life, and health. State Farm Insurance is there for you and your family. Give Greg Mullen a call, 842-4555 with 2:43 to go in the first. And Sterling leading 12-4. And I can't say the last time the Beatniggers played here, so they're certainly not used to these baskets. Not that that's an excuse, because right now they're obviously losing the game by 8 points, and Sterling's defense has been pretty tough.
Well, Sterling's defense, they're tough, yes, and they have long arms, long wingspan. Makes it tougher to make those passes, but we can do some little things. There's backdoor opportunities. Anytime that they're going to overplay the passing lanes, you have those backdoor cuts, or you have back screens. You can set a back screen on somebody. The other thing that we need to be careful of is on defense on our side, because they're starting to release. They released 2 people on that one. We didn't even send anybody back, so it was too late.
Here come the Beatniggers. Needens, Cranston, Rosenbrock, Tormolen, and Dunker for Brush, trailing 12-4, 2:35 to go in the opening quarter. Needens on the outside right gets a pick from Rosenbrock. Straight away, 3 in the air. It's off the back of the rim. Ethan Rose with a rebound. That wasn't even close. Sterling can take a double-digit lead. Keel at the free throw line is going to have to back it out. Ethan Rose, left wing 3 is going to be short, but the ball is rebounded by Keel. He'll reset. He'll take a right wing 3. No good. In and out. The ball's rebounded by Kyle Rosenbrock, his first. The outlet to Dunker. Beatniggers have a 3-on-4. Bounce back to Cranston. Lays it up and in, and that time Sterling fell asleep as Cranston ran the floor very well. Beatniggers to within 6, 12-6 under 2 minutes to go. And that was a big missed 3. That's a 5-point swing right there. Into the game now is James Kurjanik for Sterling. Rose with the basketball. Back out to Dylan Manuelo in there as well. Over to Keel on the outside left to Kurjanik. Back to Keel on the outside right to Rose. Picked up by Rosenbrock. Here's Manuelo. Right corner. 3 in the air is up, and that is an air ball. But Bryce Needens could not catch the miss by Colin Sanger. I guess he was anticipating a rebound. The ball went right through him. And against Sterling, you've got to come up with those plays.
Well, I think he thought it was going to hit the rim.
That's what I'm saying. He was anticipating a rebound. There's no rebound there. And now Sanger to throw it in for Sterling. Lobs it near the top there, beyond the timeline, and on the outside left now is Skurjanek with a basketball. Back out to Keel, guarded by Cranston. Outside right to Sanger. Right baseline to Rose. Bounce pass is taken by Manuelo. Or checked that Skurjanek, then he double dribbled. Second turnover for Sterling. The Beat Diggers with only 1. Now Brush can draw to within 4 or 3 with 1:26 to go. These the Beat Diggers are getting outplayed, but they're only down by 6, and they can make this closer. And here's Cranston for Brush, and we know how good of a defensive team the Beat Diggers are. But Shea Keel's 2 3-pointers are the difference right now. Rosenbrock on the outside left of the basketball. At the top for Tormolin. Dribbles to his right, picks up the dribble. On the high right to Cranston. Down low for Dunker in the lane. Piece Tormolin. 10-footer is off the bottom of the rim. Rebound to Rosenbrock. He's fouled as he misses. Rosenbrock to the line. That's the first foul committed by Sterling in this game. Foul was committed by Ethan Rose. So Kyle Rosenbrock to shoot 2.
Well, and Jeffrey figured something out immediately on that. He figured out that he had a smaller guard on him, so he was able to post up and use that to his advantage.
Free throws up and in. Stop, shop, and save with all of your grocery needs and stacks for game time enjoyment. Brush Grocery Card, 1302 West Edison Street in Brush. And Brush's local Napa and Hardware Hanks and Small Engine Repair Shop, Hometown Auto and Hardware. At 1305 Edison, second free throw is in. The Beat Diggers have scored the last 4 points of the game. Sterling 12, Brush 8. 1 minute to go in the opening quarter. With the basketball's Keel on the outside left to Skurjanek. Back out to Keel. Straight away, can't take that 3. Over to Ethan Rose. Back to Keel. Looked like he walked. On the outside right is Rose. Rose against Dunker. On the outside left is Skurjanek. In the left corner for Sanger. Jump pass intercepted by Dunker. Here come the Beat Diggers. It's a 3-on-2-on-4. And then Dunker looked like he was fouled. And there is the foul on the drive to the basket as he missed. Looked like Skurjanek committed the foul. Beat Diggers only had actually 2 down there. And Sterling had about 4 back. Let's see if Dunker's okay. Went to the floor very hard with 39.5 seconds to go.
And awkwardly.
Accidents or illness can strike at any time, day or night, and when they do, every second counts. As a Level 3 Trauma Center, Colorado Plains Medical Center is ready to handle any kind of emergency. Colorado Plains Medical Center bringing quality care to the community. First free throw is in. The Beat Diggers in a 5-0 run. Tormolin is out, and Jacob Nichols is into the game. The Beat Diggers with only 1 turnover. Sterling with 3. Brush is down 12-9. Second free throw in the air, and that's good. Beat Diggers only down by 2. Colin Sanger to throw it in. Kyle Rosenbrock will apply backcourt pressure. Well, this unit has done very well for Brush as Ben Mickey's now in for Dunker. Just got to hold your own here over the final 39 seconds. Even if they give up a basket, they'll be okay. Keel on the outside right to Rose. Back to Keel. Beat Diggers back off a bit. Down to Skurjanek. Now to Keel on the high right to Rose. Right to the lane. Here's Manuelo. Now Sanger into the lane all the way. Scoops it up off the glass and he missed. And the ball is tipped around in a foul. That is on Colin Sanger, who went over the back. He actually had a point-blank shot and he missed it. And that'll be the 3rd foul of the game committed by Sterling. Beat Diggers with only 1. And now the Beat Diggers down by 2 can actually take the lead with a 3.
Well, and this is where they need to show some poise, show some patience against this long-arm defense.
Here comes Trey Cranston. For Brush. Into the front court. Just beyond the timeline to hold the basketball with 12 seconds to go. Dribble to his left. Picks up the dribble. Back out to Needens with 8. Now on the outside left, Rosenbrock with 6. Dribbles to his right with 5. With 4. In the left corner, here's Mickey with 3. With 2. Backs up for a long 3. That's an air ball. Actually hit the bottom of the rim, but that's it. That's the end of the opening quarter with a score. Sterling 12, Brush 10 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran-Chen Goodall back from Sterling High School. We head to the second quarter. And Sterling leads Brush by a score of 12-10. It'll be Connor Carey along with Colin Sanger, Ethan Rose, Dylan Manuelo, and Matt McNear for Sterling. They've got the basketball. Bryce Needens, Trey Cranston, Kyle Rosenbrock, Jacob Nichols, and Ben Mickey for Brush. Rose with the basketball on the outside left. Back out to Sanger on the high right. Here is Connor Carey. Over to Sanger against Cranston, dribbling between his legs. Runs into Cranston, who falls down, and then that jump pass is intercepted, tipped away. Here comes Bryce Needens the other way. Crossover dribble, lost the basketball, but it's picked up by Mickey. Mickey in the right corner. Here is Needens faking to his left, bounce pass to Nichols. Nichols down low to Rosenbrock, lays it up and in! With the left hand, Kyle Rosenbrock scores, and the Beat Diggers have scored the last 8 points of the game. They were down 12-4. 7:15 to go before the break. With the basketball is Carey on the outside right. And then we got a foul against the Beat Diggers, second team foul. Foul was committed by Jacob Nichols.
Yeah, he just didn't get around the outside. He had his hand on the back. You can't have your hand on the back and then, he poked it away clean, but you can't have your hand on the back.
Lucas Lindgren is back into the game along with Jake Heel. Sterling looking to get on the board. Haven't scored in a while. They were up 12-4 after Jake Heel's second three-pointer. Lindgren, he'll inbound it in the backcourt all the way to Ethan Rose. He'll dribble across the timeline. Back out to Connor Carey, over to Keel. On the outside left to Rose, picked up by Needens. Then the ball was stripped away. It's loose and it's taken by Needens. Here comes the Beat Diggers the other way. 4-on-3. Needens fakes the three. Left corner to Rosenbrock. Down low for Nichols. Kicks it back out to Mickey, right of the lane. Now to Cranston. Fakes the three. Steps it at the free throw line. Gonna have to back it left corner. Needens, three in the air. And that's off the back of the rim. But the long rebound is controlled by Kyle Rosenbrock. Beat Diggers will reset. 6:40 to go second quarter. Brush 12, Sterling 12. Mickey with a basketball. Guarded by Jay Keel. Bounce pass on the outside left to Nichols. Nichols cross court to Needens. He'll take the three, and that is in and out again. And the ball is rebounded by Matt McNear of Sterling. Going to be big for Needens to knock one of those down and stretch out that defense. With the basketball's Carey. Back out to Keel. The left corner for Rose, picked up by Needens. Bounce pass to McNear, nearly knocked away. And then the ball is thrown by McNear right into Bryce Needens' hands. Needens the other way for Brush. It's a 5-on-4. Needens back out to Rosenbrock. McNear catches up at the top for Cranston. Cranston looking. Dribbles to his right. Spins. Has to back it out. Bounce pass inside. Forces it to Mickey. Fade. And he throws up an air ball. Not a good shot. Mac McNear comes up with the ball for Sterling. 5:49 to go second quarter. Brush 12. Sterling 12. On the outside left. Rose with the basketball. Back out. On the high right here is Connor Carey. Over to Jay Keel. Keel against Trey Cranston. Over to Carey. Carey against Rosenbrock. Back out to Keel. Crossover dribble on the outside left now to Rose. Picked up by Needens. Straight away to Keel. On the outside left to Rose. And then stripped by Needens. And taken away by Trey Cranston. 2-on-2. Here is Cranston over to Rosenbrock. And the ball was thrown out of bounds. The Brush Beat Diggers have given it just 2 turnovers in the game. Sterling already was 7, so Brush's defense actually playing better than Sterling.
Well, and Sterling did something different there. They went 4 high, and they left one lone baseline runner. So anytime you do that or you see that, there's going to be some kind of overload and then a backdoor cut.
Beat Diggers substitute 5 for 5. Baker, Brown, Tormolen, Garcia, and Dunker. Let's see how this unit does, because the last unit was very good. The Dunkers played a good game so far as well. On the outside right with the basketball's Carey, picked up by Baker. Back out to Keel. Outside left is Lindgren. Guarded by Garcia, over to Keel, dribbling to his left. Bounce pass to the free throw line for McNear. Left baseline, up and under. The shot is up and in, but a traveling violation, I believe, and it was on Colin Sanger. That's already 5 turnovers in the first 3 minutes for Sterling here in the second quarter.
And Jake Brown did something great right there. He didn't try to jump, didn't try to block it. He just stood his ground and let the Sterling team commit a violation.
Right, because if had Brown jumped, Sanger would have drawn the foul.
Right.
Garcia with the basketball on the outside right to Brown. Brown looking at the top for Tormolen. And we have a foul down low against the Beat Diggers, and we do. It's a turnover against Brush.
Yep.
That was against Randy Baker. That's his first.
I believe it was an illegal screen that I saw.
We played 3 minutes and 15 seconds of basketball here in the second quarter. There's only been 2 points scored. That was by Kyle Rosenbrock of Brush. Sanger with the basketball on the outside left, looking down low, kicks it back out. On the high right to Carey, near the top. And here is a three-pointer by Lindgren. That is no good. Randy Baker with a rebound for Brush, his first. Baker across the timeline on the outside left. It's a 5-on-4. Sterling defender falls down. Baker in the lane fades from 10, and that's off to the right. Rebound, Tormolen. He shoots and misses, but he's fouled. Tormolen to the line. Nice job by Mitch Tormolen to shoot 2. And the foul was committed by Lucas Lindgren. That's his first. Now the Beat Diggers can take the lead for the second time in the game. Don't let finances stand in your way of pursuing your college education. Visit MCC online at morgancc.edu. Or you can stop by the campus for a personal advising session that will get you on the right track and find out what options are available to help you. First free throw is good. Second free throw is missed. That's Morgan Community College. The rebound to Colin Sanger. Brush 13, Sterling 12. 4:10 to go in the second quarter. With the basketball on the outside left carry, a long three is going to be off to the left, and the ball is bounced. It is off of the Sterling Tigers and Matt McNear. Beat Digger basketball.
Well, and that could have been an over-the-back call as well, because Mitch had good position on that.
Well, again, Brush is the smaller team height-wise, and they have been out-rebounded, but not badly. Have 9 rebounds for Sterling, 5 for Brush. So there's significant difference so far, but the Beat Digger perimeter defense has been great. They lead 13-12, 3:49 to go second quarter. Baker bounce pass in the lane to Garcia. Jump pass right baseline to Brown, but the ball was on the baseline. The Beat Diggers turn it over for a 4th time. Sterling has 8 turnovers in the game, and the Tigers can take the lead on this possession. Well, we talk low-scoring game. This is getting even lower scoring than we thought. Neither team is going to get to 20 by halftime. If they do, it should be a pretty large lead.
And a significant run.
Right. Here's the lob down low, and it's knocked away by the Beat Diggers, and it's taken away by Tormola. Now here's Baker, and the Beat Diggers have a 5-on-4. Baker at the top, dribbling at the free throw line. He's got to watch out for behind. Outside right to Garcia, long three in the air, and that is no good. And can Brown save it in? No, it's going to be knocked out of bounds by Sterling and Matt McNear. Beat Diggers retain possession. That should be Brush ball.
Should be, yep.
Yeah. I mean, Tormolan's pointing that way. That was pretty obvious. Yeah, that McNear knocked it away, even though it was going out of bounds, but Brown had position, and a 30-second timeout called by Mike Holloway. The Sterling Tigers will keep it right here. I got to tell you, I don't know if Brush is just playing a lot better defense, or did you see any adjustments after Ken Garcia called that timeout with about less than 3 minutes to go in the opening quarter and Brush down by 8. They have not allowed a point in over 7 minutes.
Well, a couple of things that happen with the boys. They tend to get pushed up in the lane, so they tend to head toward the free throw line instead of staying low enough that they can see any cutters going behind them. And the adjustment that I saw defensively was, first of all, the chatter on the floor. I can see the boys saying, okay, this one's cutter, this one's doing this, set a screen, whatever. They're talking all of the defensive pieces to it, but they're also staying low enough in the lane that they're not letting anybody sneak in behind them for those backdoor cuts.
Beat Diggers to throw it in. Willow Coffee Tea and Smoothies, 921 Edison Street in Brush. Open 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. to better serve you and ready to make your favorite specialty drink or offer a sweet treat. Here is Dunker in the lane off the inbounds pass. He turns, he leans, he banks, he misses, and the ball is rebounded by Lucas Lindgren of Sterling, his 4th rebound. The outlet to Keel. Keel with 3:08 to go in the second quarter. Brush 13, Sterling 12. Over to Lindgren. Cross court to Keel. Now to Lindgren behind that three-point line, dribbling towards the free throw line, outside right to Keel, guarded by Dunker. Lob down low is tipped away by Baker, intercepted by Garcia. Excellent perimeter defense by Brush. On the outside right, Baker with a basketball, slashes into the lane, jump pass back out to Jake Brown. Brown on the left baseline, spinning left of the lane, back out towards Baker, threw it behind him. Baker has to chase it down before it goes into the backcourt. Baker with 2:38 to go on the outside left to Dunker, guarded by Connor Carey. Dunker with a basketball, swings it back out to Tormola, bounce pass to Garcia, turns, hooks, and scores. Nice shot by Austin Garcia, nice-looking shot. The Beat Diggers with a 3-point lead. Now, don't allow the three here. Keel with the basketball, back out to Lindgren. 2:19 to go second quarter. Back to Keel, over to Lindgren on the high left, near that corner to Connor Carey. Back out to Keel. Now here is Lindgren on the high left. Over to Keel straight away, won't take that three. Now to Lindgren at the free throw line. Bounce pass to Keel. In the right corner, the ball is kicked out of bounds by Baker, intended over there for Connor Carey. Here comes Kyle Rosenbrock into the game for Jake Brown, and Ethan Rose checks in for Sterling, replacing Connor Carey with 2:03 to go in the second quarter. The Beat Diggers off on an 11-0 run dating back to the first quarter.
And switching into a 2-3 zone.
Here comes Shea Keel on the outside right to Rose, picked up by Baker. On the outside left to Lindgren. In the left corner, Keel. Keel is double-teamed, kicks it back out to Lindgren. Lindgren with a basketball with 1:48 to go on the high right to Rose, guarded by Dunker. On the outside left, Keel won't take that three. Now left baseline, here is Carey. He's bodied up and fouled by Rosenbrock. And that's not a bad foul because Rosenbrock was a little bit slow there. and he didn't want to allow, that was Colin Sanger actually had the basketball to get an easy layup.
Well, what I like is Mitch is kind of staying with the guy in the middle, and then whoever's on the bottom wing of the three is sliding into double team so they can't get any kind of entry into the post and cause a backdoor cut or an open three on the corner.
On the outside left, Keel with the basketball. Back out to Rose. A minute 34 to go at the free throw line. McNear down low for Sanger, and he puts it up and in, and he's stopped by Tormolen as he scores off the glass, and Sanger to the line. He can tie the game.
Just what I said before about them getting pushed up in the lane a little bit just happened.
Oh, they're going to call that on Rosenbrock instead. I thought it was Tormolen who got him with the body, but they're going to say it was Rosenbrock committing a second foul. That's the first point scored by Sterling in the quarter. Sanger spins, shoots, and connects, and the game is deadlocked at 15. Here comes Jacob Nichols into the game, and he replaces Kyle Rosenbrock, who's done for the first half. Well, Brush went a good 8.5 minutes without allowing a point, but these defenses are so good. Beat Diggers have been unable to really extend themselves on the offensive end too much. On the outside right, Tormolen with the basketball. Bounce pass to the top, and that's a bad pass. It's intercepted by Sanger, and he's going to dunk the basketball in there for Sterling. The 2-point lead, 17-15. Baker right to the lane, spinning all the way, scoops it up, and that's partially blocked. It's taken away by Ethan Rose. Sterling looking to grab a 4-point lead here, maybe 5. In the right corner, Sanger bounce pass, McNear down low, and he stepped on the end line. Sterling commits their 11th turnover. The Beat Diggers have 5 in the game. Now the Beat Diggers got to settle down.
Right.
It's now a 5-0 run for Sterling. This has been a game of runs. Brush down 17-15 as we have 54 seconds to go in the opening half. Dunker across the timeline, met by Ethan Rose at the top. On the outside right to Baker. Baker dribbling into the lane, wants to fade, but cannot get out of that lane, and he hands it off to Garcia. Garcia on the outside right is going to back up. Can't take that three against Keel. Now we'll back up. Now we'll take the three. And he'll make the three. Austin Garcia drills a triple. He's got 5 points in the quarter. The Beat Diggers back in the lead. 18-17. 25 seconds to go before the break. Keel with the basketball over to Rose on the outside right. Now in the corner is Sanger. Back out to Lindgren. Over to Keel. Left corner, Rose, wide open three, and that's off the back of the rim. And Randy Baker at the basketball. They're going to call traveling. They will. On Baker, after he went down and could not get rid of the ball. Sterling will have it. 12.8 seconds to go. They might get the final shot here.
You know, I'm still okay with that kind of a turnover just because it was a hustle play.
Right. Lindgren to throw it in. He's looking down low for McNear. Can't get it to him. Right corner, Rose. Bounce pass inside. Intercepted by Tormolen. Dunker the other way. It's a 2-on-2. Dunker swings it left side, right side, and it's tipped out of bounds. Intended for Garcia. So it will be Beat Digger basketball. Garcia to throw it in. 6.7 seconds to go. In the right corner for Tormolen. Back out to Baker with 4. Now to Garcia. The three in the air. Yes! Austin Garcia! Another triple! Just before the buzzer. As we head to the break, the Beat Diggers close the first half on a 6-0 run thanks to Austin Garcia's 2 3-pointers to score. Rush 21, Sterling 17 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Sean Beltran, Jen Goodall, as we head to the second half from Sterling. The Beat Diggers lead the Tigers by a score of 21-17. After Sterling took a 12-4 lead, the Beat Diggers with a 17-5 run. That's a lot of dominance there, Jen, over the last 11 minutes there, the opening half. It's one of those deals where I guess the terminology is you weather the storm, because that's what they did.
Well, and now is going to be the key, because we've seen this before, and then they come out a little sluggish in the third, and we had an extended halftime. So I'm a little worried that they're not going to come out with the same fire, like they're just going to expect it to be there, and Sterling's going to come out with something, because both teams are going to make adjustments to different things that they've seen. So it's going to be who makes the least amount of mistakes in the second half.
Here we go, the Beat Diggers about to break the huddle. More than likely with the same starting 5 they had to open the game of Jake Brown, Austin Garcia, Mitch Tormolen, Randy Baker, and Jeffrey Dunker. Dunker played very well in the opening quarter. Austin Garcia had a very good second quarter offensively. And those 2 threes are huge because you stretch that defense out. Now, if you get Bryce Needham's involved, Bryce limited play there in the first half, and Just couldn't get the 3 ball to go down. Sterling will have Matt McNear, Jay Keel, Lucas Lindgreen, Connor Carey, and Colin Sanger. Beat Digger basketball. Austin Garcia to throw it in. This is the biggest lead the Beat Diggers have had at 21-17, a 4-point advantage. Dunker with the basketball. Bounce pass near the top to Baker. Holding the ball up high is Baker. Dribbling at the free throw line, looking to his right. Over to Garcia. Garcia against Keel. Puts up a long 3, and then it's off the back of the rim, and the rebound on one hop to Keel. Keel across the timeline. He's got a 5-on-4 with Garcia behind him, who now catches up. Bounce pass in the lane to Sanger. Sanger's going to have to back it out. Check that. That's Carey. Now Sanger on the left baseline against Tormolen. All the way, puts it up, and he misses, and the ball is rebounded by Tormolen. Tormolen in the backcourt with the basketball, looking for the outlet. Finds Baker. Boy, the Brush defense has been good tonight after struggling early. Here's Baker with the basketball at the top. Now at the free throw line on the outside left for Brown. Brown gets a pick from Baker at the free throw line in the lane. Bounces it back out to Dunker. Dunker will reset. All the Beat Diggers have to do is stay in control. On the high left to Baker. Baker down low for Brown. Turns, shoots, misses. And the rebound controlled by Connor Carey. Yeah, points are hard to come by in this game.
Well, and that was the right move by Jake Brown. He saw that the Sterling players were overplaying on the screen, so he went back door.
Connor Carey with the basketball on the left baseline. He's going to have to back it out. Here is Keel. Back to Carey. Left corner. Fakes the 3 against Brown. Now to Keel. Near the top to Sanger. On the outside right to Lindgreen. Guarded by Baker. Now here is Carey. Fakes the 3. Steps in. 15-footer is around and no good. And Mitch Tormolen has the rebound. Nearly fouled there off the contact. Here comes Jeffrey Dunker on the outside right. 6:20 to go. Spinning in the lane. And then he tries to put up a shot partially blocked and taken away by Keel. Sterling wants to run. Here's Keel against Baker. Slams into Baker. And then we have a blocking foul on Baker. Oh, it looked like there was a moving screen as well. But they'll call a foul on Baker. That's going to be his second. But that was on the floor, so Sterling will inbound the basketball with 6:14 to go, third quarter. It's a 21-17 Brush lead. Northeast Colorado's locally owned hometown savings and loan is Equitable Savings and Loan in Fort Morgan and Brush. Lindgreen to inbounds the basketball, looking down low, feet Sanger, and he banks and he misses, and the rebound by McNear. His shot is blocked out of there. It's loose. It's taken over there by Carey. Little 10-footer is headed out of bounds, and McNear trying to control it. He feeds Carey in the lane, and then the ball is out of bounds. It's knocked out of bounds by the Beat Diggers. But boy, you got to grab some rebounds there.
Well, Randy Baker did a good job. He got partial block on the first one, and then he stayed down on his feet instead of trying to jump and block again, which would have got him a foul.
To throw it in is Lindgreen in the backcourt, all the way towards the other basket. Jay Keel has to chase it down. Keel across the timeline. Neither team has scored in the opening 2+ minutes of this third quarter. Lindgreen with a basketball. Back out to Sanger. Cross court to Keel. Steps in. Jump pass is going to be tipped away, but taken by Sanger on the right baseline. And he leans, he banks, he misses, he's fouled. I think Mitch Tormolen got him. Well, the Tigers had every bounce go their way, and it's going to pay off for Sanger getting to the line.
Well, Sanger did something there that I've not seen very many players capable of as post position. He was able to change his direction and slide in sideways and end up facing the backboard.
The Sanger free throw's in the air. That's off the back of the rim. Yeah, you're right, because if not, it would have been an easy offensive foul.
Right.
Leather jackets, T-shirts, and more. Bijou Chiquest, 302 Main Street in Fort Morgan for all of your sports apparel. Second free throw in the air, and that is in and out, and the ball is loose. Rebounded by Tormolen. He chased it down nicely. Here's the outlet to Dunker, bodied up by Carey on the outside right. Dunker between his legs, lost the basketball, got it back, swings it back out to Garcia. Garcia, bounce pass near the timeline to Baker. 5.5 to go in the third quarter. Neither team has scored here in the third. 21-17, Brush leads Sterling on the high left to Brown. Brown looking down low, kicks it back out to Baker. Well behind the three-point line on the high right to Dunker, guarded by Carey, dribbling towards the right corner, bodied up, and it looked like he was fouled. They're going to say he stepped on the end line, but they've got to make a call there because Dunker's normally not a player that out of control. Instead, it results in Brush's 7th turnover.
Well, and I think Coach Garcia is attempting to ask for that as well.
Yeah, I mean, that clearly looked like a foul. It didn't look like a flop to me. Here comes Jay Keel the other way at the top for McNear. McNear against Garcia. Looking. Dribbling to his left, picks up the dribble, spins it back out to Lindgreen. Dunker sags against Lindgreen, who's just beyond midcourt. With the basketball, Connor Carey on the high left against Brown, looking for a pick. Back out to Sanger. On the outside left to Keel. Can't take that three. Garcia on top of him. Down low to McNear all the way. And the shot is blocked out of bounds by Tormolin, but he committed the foul.
Well, on the block up high, the crowd is reacting. The block up high was clean. However, he hit him with his body, so it's still a foul. And Brush is not doing a very good job. They're actually sending two players in there for Sterling, one to post up, the other one to kind of fill whatever block is open at that time for the little dump-off pass. So they got to be careful on that.
And then McNair free throws off the back of the rim. Second free throw upcoming. At the end of one in Brush. Brush girls against Sterling. Brush 6, Sterling 4.
Wow.
Second free throw coming. That's a shock to both of us.
Yeah.
Second free throw is in.
No keen on that, on either of them?
No. Yeah. I mean, I could see Brush only scoring 6 because Sterling is 9-0, but to hold Sterling to 4, that is impressive. 21-18 Brush, 4:34 to go. Here's Baker slashing the lane, fading, shooting, scoring. What a shot by Baker. Who really didn't have much of an angle, but he had great body control. The Beatniggers up by 5, their biggest lead, 23-18, 4:20 to go, third quarter here in Sterling. With the basketball is Jay Keel on the outside left, back near the top to Carey. On the high left to Sanger. Straight away here is Lucas Lindgren looking down low, can't find a teammate. Left side to Colin Sanger against Rosenbrock, and then tries to save it, and after losing the ball, here's Carey, little 15-footer off the glass, around and good for Connor Carey. The Tigers to within 3, 30-second timeout. And I'm not sure who called it with 3:57 to go. I thought it was called by Sterling initially. Either way, we'll keep it right here. Committed to serving those in production ag. Premier Farm Credit is the gold standard in ag lending. Yeah, there's no doubt this game's going down to the wire.
Well, and my guess is Sterling called a timeout because he's going to throw some kind of press on, or he's going to change something up that he didn't like on their offensive set.
So let's see what Mike Holloway elects to do. Put a press on the Beatniggers, and they can make you pay. There's no question about it.
But they're also facing a team that has a lot longer arms than some of the other ones that we faced recently.
No doubt about it. Beatniggers break the huddle with Baker, Garcia, Dunker, Rosenbrock, and Tormolin. Carey, Sanger, Lindgren, McNear, and Keel for Sterling, and they will apply some pressure here in the backcourt. Dunker to throw it in to Garcia, but not too much as the defenders will sag for the Tigers. Garcia bounce pass on the outside left to Baker. Baker gets a pick from Rosenbrock, right to the lane, and then there's a whistle. And that looks like a foul that should have been called when Dunker was dribbling in the right corner, unless they're going to call that on the player, Colin Sanger, who ran through the pick set by Rosenbrock, so it was actually away from the ball. Garcia to throw it in. 3 team fouls for the Beatniggers. That's the first for Sterling.
And Sterling is now switching on every screen instead of fighting over the top like they were before.
Rosenbrock had the ball knocked away. Great save there by McNear. The Beatniggers turn it over. 8 turnover for Brush. Sterling can tie it with a three-pointer with 3:33 to go in the third. On the outside left, Carey with the basketball at the top for Sanger. Back on the high right, here is Lucas Lindgren at the top for Carey. He fakes the three on the outside right to Keel. Now here is Sanger in the lane, lost the basketball out of bounds. It will go over to the Beatniggers. Yeah, you're trying to do things so quickly with the ball.
Well, they're just running a little passing game there. They were just circling around. Post stayed where they were. They were using him as a screener.
Austin Garcia for Brush is met at midcourt by Jay Keel with the Beatniggers, leading 23-20. Garcia on the outside right. Boy, nearly traveled, feeds it to Dunker. Well, that was close.
That was.
Dunker at the top, crossover dribble right of the lane. Back out to Garcia, fakes the three, steps in. His 10-foot runner off the glass is too strong, and the ball is rebounded by Tormolin. Back out to Baker, 17-footer, partially blocked. Taken away by Colin Sanger. Sterling comes the other way. Long pass is tipped by Baker and saved him beautifully. Oh, it was on the end line. Oh, that could have been a layup for Austin Garcia.
Great hustle by Randy Baker.
Sterling retains possession. Morgan Federal Bank keeping community banking simple and committed to their community. Morgan Federal Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender, three-quarters court. Lindgren to throw it in as Baker is replaced by Bryce Needens. They need some offense badly from Needens.
They do. And you know what, though? I give credit to Randy. He could have been pouting and whatever after he got partially blocked shot. What does he do? He tries to turn it into a turnover on Sterling.
Outside left, Carey of the basketball, picked up by Austin Garcia in the corner. Here's Jay Keel against Kyle Rosenbrock. Back out to Sanger. At the top, here's Carey, picked up by Needens. Left wing to Keel, can't take that. 3 steps in, puts up a wild shot and scores off the glass. Almost looked like he lost control of the ball in midair straight away from 10 feet. And Sterling has scored the last 4 points of the game. Brush 23, Sterling 22. 2:19 to go, third quarter. Needens dribbles towards the left baseline. He's going to have to spin it back out to Dunker. Dunker with the basketball, dribbles by 2. Dunker back out to Garcia. We got a whistle and a foul, blocking foul, Matt McNear of Sterling. That's his first. Garcia had that wide open 3.
Well, and I'm watching their defense, and they're all trying to get into Jeffrey Dunker's head. They're all stepping up. They're all trying to take a little hit off the shoulder or off the hip or whatever, just make contact and get him frustrated. And that one was a flop call that went against him.
Garcia in the right corner for Tormolin, back out to Rosenbrock. And that pass intended for Needens. It's intercepted by Colin Sanger. There's a bounce pass down low all the way. Rose lays it up and in, and Sterling is in the lead. Sterling 24, Brush 23. Sterling on a 6-0 run, a minute 55 to go in the third. Garcia with the basketball against Jay Keel at the free throw line. 14-footer, yes, for Austin Garcia. He knew it was going in for the time it left his hand. That stops the 6-0 run. Beatnickers 25, Tigers 24. Keel the other way. On the outside right to Rose. Wide open threes off to the right. Long rebound by Bryce Needens. Nice job of blocking out the shooter. Needens across the timeline. Overhead pass to Garcia. Garcia dribbles to his left. Bounce pass to Tormolin. In the lane, Tormolin scoops and misses the shot. Rebound to Rosenbrock. Up and in off the glass for Kyle Rosenbrock. Right place, right time for the Beatnickers sophomore. Now Brush is on a 4-0 run. Beatnickers 27. And the Tigers 24. Keel straight away on the outside left to Carey. Carey near the top to Colin Sanger on the high right now to Rose. The Beatnickers didn't have a deficit for too long. Here's the entry pass to Sanger, and then the ball is blocked away by Tormolin and taken by Dunker, but the ball was on the end line as Sterling retains possession. Jacob Nichols and Trey Cranston check in for Brush, and James Skurjanik into the game for Sterling with the Beatnickers up 27-24, and Connor Carey to throw it in underneath the Brush basket for Sterling. Stubbs Gas and Oil, I-76 and Highway 39 in Wiggins. Don't delay and get there to see why convenience is Stubbs' middle name. Carey looking down low. He's got Keel wide open in the left corner. He'll take the 3. That's a mistake, but it's an air ball, and the ball is volleyballed into the hands of Ethan Rose. And then the ball is stolen away by Needens. Jump pass towards Cranston. Cranston nearly fouled, and he was. That's a good call.
That is a good call. I thought that was going to be a little bit more of a collision than it was.
And the foul committed by James Skurjanik. That's his second. 52.8 seconds to go. Brush will go back up by 5 here with a bucket. Trey Cranston to throw it in just beyond midcourt. Brush girls leading early in the second, 6-4. We'll get a halftime score coming up momentarily. Cranston looking. Feeds it to Needens. Needens will hand it off to Cranston with 48 seconds remaining third quarter. Bounce pass in the high right to Rosenbrock. Well behind that three-point line. Rosenbrock looking down low. Feeds it at the top for Cranston. Cranston back out to Needens. Picked up by Jay Keel. Needens between his legs. Jump pass to Dunker. Dunker steps in. Little 10-footer. It's good for Jeffrey Dunker on the left wing. And Brush has scored the last 6 points. Beatnickers 29, Tigers 24. 23 seconds to go third quarter. Skurjanik on the outside right to Carey. Carey near the top to Manuelo. Now in the left corner. Here is Sanger up and under, and he scores. But they're going to think it was fouled before that on the floor. 14th foul. No basket for Colin Sanger. And the Beatnicker foul. Let's see who they'll mark it on. Jacob Nichols. He commits his second. Carey to throw it in, looking down low, and he's going to feed Manuelo, but then the ball stripped away, and it's taken away beautifully by Kyle Rosenbrock. Here come the Beatnickers. Dunker with 8 seconds to go. Left wing to Needens on the left baseline, and he travels. Oh, boy, that hurts. The Beatnickers with their 4th turnover of the quarter. Now you give Sterling an opportunity to score before the end of the third.
And I would have the pressure up just to make sure that they don't. And I think Coach Garcia is telling them, yeah, get up here, make them play, which takes longer.
Keel at midcourt on the outside right to Carey with 2 seconds to go. He's going to have to put up a long 3, and that is short. And it's the end of the third quarter with the score. Brush 29, Sterling 24 on 1010 KSLR and KSLR.com. We go to the fourth quarter. John Beltran with Jen Goodall here at Sterling High School. The Beatnickers lead the Tigers by a score of 29-24. Jeffrey Dunker, Jacob Nichols, Kyle Rosenbrock, Trey Cranston, and Bryce Needens for Brush, James Skurjanek, Colin Sanger, Jay Keel, Connor Carey, and Dylan Manuelo for Sterling. Tiger basketball. Here's Keel at the top. On the outside left to Sanger in the left corner. Picked up by Needens and then knocked away. And was he fouled, though? No, he got the ball on the end line.
Yep. Good job by Bryce.
That's 16 turnovers for Sterling. Sterling girls have the lead in Brush at halftime, 17-12. So they outscored Brush 13-6 in the second quarter. Here's Jacob Nichols with the basketball. On the outside left to Dunker, down low, intended for Cranston, knocked out of bounds by Manuelo. Beat Diggers will have the ball. Needens to throw it in. Brush is not led by 3 possessions in this game. They've been up by as many as they are right now, 5. Sterling's biggest lead was 8. Here's Dunker, 16-footers well off to the left. Ball is tipped around, and that's into the hands of Dylan Manuelo. His first rebound on the outlet to Keel. Keel across the timeline, met by Needens on the outside left to Skurjanek. Back out to Keel. On the high right to Carey. Outside left Skurjanek, left corner for Keel. Dribbles to his right, looking down low. Swings it cross court to Carey. He steps in, wants to shoot from 15, and that's good. For Connor Carey on that jump shot, he's got 4 points. The Beat Digger lead is down to 3, 29-26. 7:06 to go in the game. From Sterling. On the high right, Cranston with the basketball. To Needens. On the outside right, fakes the 3, wants to shoot, cannot. Right corner for Rosenbrock. Down low towards Dunker, knocked out of bounds by Carey. Beat Diggers retain possession. And now Baker, Tormolen, Garcia, and Brown are into the game. The lone Beat Digger that remains on the floor is Jeffrey Dunker. And to throw it in will be Garcia. Garcia underneath the basket, looking. Still looking. He's going to have to lob it. Oh, he finds Dunker in the lane. He scoops it up. Shot is blocked. Garcia has it, and he misses the baseline shot. Rebound is controlled by Connor Carey. Then we got a foul in the backcourt. That was not a good foul. You don't want to foul underneath the basket.
That's a frustration foul.
Yeah, but that you can't do that in this big of a game. Foul committed by Jeffrey Dunker. That's his first. 5 team fouls for Brush, 3 for Sterling. They can draw to within 1 with a 2 or tie it with a 3. With 6:45 to go. Dunker was so open, he didn't realize he had that easy of a shot. Colin Sanger at the free throw line with the basketball, left to the lane against Tormola, wants to shoot, leans, banks, and he misses. The rebound of Manuelo, lost the basketball. It's on the floor. There's a tie-up. That's going to go over to the Beat Diggers. Yep, it'll go to Brush as the possession arrow was pointing in their direction. Garcia to throw it in. Can you imagine this is first team to maybe 35 points? I would think 40 for the win. 40 for the win here. Because if it gets close, somebody has to foul. We'll see.
Well, I'm not as good at guessing as you are on that.
Dunker on the outside right to Garcia. Jump pass is tipped away, intended for Dunker. Here's Sanger all the way, scoops it up, and it looked like it was a foul. Yeah, there's the foul call as he misses. The Beat Diggers, though, did commit their 11 turnover, and to the line will be Colin Sanger. Jeffrey Dunker commits his second foul. With 6:18 to go in the game. Colin Sanger to shoot 2, but the Beat Diggers cannot get careless here in the fourth quarter. They've opened up a little bit shaky. Your concern was the opening of the third quarter, and they weren't too bad there. But right now, there's some concern here to begin the fourth. That free throw is perfect by Colin Sanger, and Sterling is drawn to within 2.
Well, and it's their home court. We're playing away. Momentum shifting. It's not a good scenario right now.
Second free throw's in the air, and that is around and in. The Beat Digger lead is down to 1, 29-28. Baker in the backcourt. Now to Jeffrey Dunker. Beat Diggers need a bucket here to extend a 1-point lead. Dunker at the top, guarded by Carey. Right of the lane, all the way, scoops it up, partially blocked. Tormolen goes for the basketball, and it's still loose. There's going to be a tie-up, but that's going to go over to Sterling. I don't know what Jeffrey Dunker did. A lot of one-on-one basketball there, and he didn't have the lane at all, and he just got stuffed away.
Well, and he's got to keep his poise. I know he's frustrated right now with everything that's going on the floor, but you got to maintain your poise. A good team, they're going to fight through and weather the storm, as we've said before. He's got to stay poised and play his game. Let the game come to him. Don't force it.
Well, Sterling can take the lead on this possession. Down by 1. Bounce pass into the front court to Skurjanek. Here's Sanger down low, wide open as Carey, and he's fouled as he misses. Tormolen fouled him, and now the Beat Diggers are going to need a timeout at some point because they're not playing well even defensively to begin the fourth. And to the line is Connor Carey. He is 2 made free throws away from giving Sterling a 1-point lead. So he will shoot 2. Carey spins, shoots, and he misses in and out. All Sterling can do is tie here. And here's Kyle Rosenbrock into the game for Jake Brown. Second free throw upcoming for Connor Carey. This is to tie the game and extend the Sterling run to 5-0. And that one is up, and that one is in and out. But the rebound to Lindgreen, resetting is Sterling. Oh, boy, you can't allow that either. On the outside right, Skurchanik with the basketball. The Beatnickers are definitely being out-rebounded tonight, but they're playing a taller team. Outside right to Sanger, near the timeline to Keel. Keel against Garcia, 5:36 to go. With Sterling trailing Brush 29-28. Sanger back out to Keel. Keel against Garcia on the outside right to Skurchanik, guarded by Baker. Beatnickers already have 17 fouls. Got to watch out here. Sanger left of the free throw line against Tormolen. Backs it out to Keel. On the outside right is Skurchanik against Baker at the top for Sanger. On the high right to Lindgreen with a chest pass. Bounce pass in the corner for Skurchanik. Lost the basketball. It's loose, and it's picked up by Baker. Beatnickers want to run, and Baker was fouled from behind by Keel at the free throw line. And for Keel, that's going to be his first foul.
Well, and Randy had Jeffrey Dunker coming in on the other side there, so he was running in a perfect angle lane for a layup. So
neither team's going to allow an easy basket.
Yep.
And Sterling has hurt themselves at the free throw line. 3 out of 8 here in this half. Garcia to throw it in. Brush has not scored in this quarter. We played nearly 3 minutes. Garcia looking, bounce pass to the cutting Dunker, but it was cut off there, intercepted by Sanger. Pressure in the backcourt, can't commit the foul here, because that'll send Sterling to the line. Here's Keel crossing midcourt, stripped by Dunker into the backcourt, then he threw it out of bounds, fearing the over and back. But Dunker with a great defensive play. Sterling has committed their 18th turnover, and Dunker to throw it in front of the Sterling bench. You imagine you have the lead and you haven't scored since late in the third quarter. We've got 4:51 to go. Brush 29, Sterling 28. Dunker across the timeline with a basketball. Bounce pass on the high right to Baker. Baker at the free throw line picks up the dribble. Looking, still looking. 16-footer straight away, and that's off to the right. Rebound is controlled by Ethan Rose of Sterling. They want to run over to Sanger. Sanger with a basketball, nearly stripped. Ball is loose on the floor. They're going to call a foul on Brush. It'll be a 1-and-1 situation. Now let's see who the foul was committed by. They're going to say it was on Jeffrey Dunker. That's going to be his third. To the line will be Colin Sanger, who just made 2 free throws moments ago. Bryce Needham's about getting ready to check in with 4:31 to go in the game. Ackley Building Center, your one-stop center for projects around your home, office, or yard. They now carry appliances. Ackley Building Center, 1402 Mill Street in Brush. Needham's is in, and they need something. Needham's has done nothing offensively tonight. And he is so lethal with that three-point shot. 1-and-1 situation for Colin Sanger. Free throw, barely got to the rim. Rebound to Rosenbrock. The outlet to Dunker. Beatnickers still have a 1-point lead. Dunker on the outside right with the basketball. Jump pass right baseline to Cranston. Now Rosenbrock 3 is an air ball. Missed badly. Lindgreen with the basketball. Lindgreen with a 6th rebound. Long pass on the outside left taken by Rose. Left baseline tipped out of bounds intended for Carey. Sterling retains possession. Jen Brush is dodging too many bullets. You got to score at least 1 or 2 buckets in the offensive end here.
Well, they're not being very patient. It's like a one pass and then a shot thrown up. So they got to make sure that they're making Sterling shift a little bit on defense, get that overload.
Lindgreen looking, baseball pass in the backcourt to Keel. Keel crossing the timeline. Back out towards Rose. On the outside left here is Carey. In the left corner, Keel dribbling to his right, lobs it back out to Lindgreen. We are under 4 minutes to go in Sterling. Brush 29, Sterling 28. Outside left to Carey. Behind that three-point line. Left corner for Lindgreen, guarded by Rosenbrock. Lindgreen dribbling to his right, back out to Rose with a chest pass. Cross court to Keel. On the high right, Sanger down low. Intended over there for Rose. Tipped away by Tormolen. Taken away by Needhams. Here's Needhams. Bounce pass. Looked like it was kicked, but Cranston has it. And the ball's knocked away. Taken by Needhams. Bounce pass to Dunker inside. Dunker in the lane puts it up, and he misses, but he fouled. Dunker was hit across the eye.
Yeah, poked in the eye.
Now the Beatnickers need at least a free throw here. The foul was committed by Lucas Lindgreen, a second. And Brush has taken just 6 free throws in the game, but they've made 5, including 2 by Dunker. Got to make at least 1 here just to stop the scoring slump. And this free throw is up and around and no good. With 3:32 to go, the Beatnickers retain a 1-point lead, and neither team is hitting free throws. Sterling has missed here in the half. They're only 33%. Second free throw is good. A 2-point lead and a 30-second timeout called by the Beat Diggers, brought to you by Greg Mullen at State Farm Insurance. Let the State Farm Insurance office at Greg Mullen and Brush help you find the best policy to fit your life. Home, auto, life, and health. State Farm Insurance is there for you and your family. Give Greg Mullen a call, 842-4555. So the Beat Diggers now with a 2-point lead at 30-28. Forget about first to 40. Now with 3:32 to go. The one thing for sure, and you mentioned this a few moments ago, especially with the Brush flow or lack thereof offensively, Sterling is definitely more patient.
They are, and when you do that, you cause an overload or a shift in the defense. You make them have to do something that they're not necessarily ready to do. If you're just going to pass it one time and shoot the ball, then all they have to do is turn around and box out and go get the rebound. And as they're taller than we are already, that's too easy. They got to make them work a little bit on defense, wear them down a little bit, and then those shots are going to fall.
That's the guy that scares you, Jay Keel, because he's got a good three-point shot, but the Beat Diggers have not allowed him to shoot the three since the first quarter when he made 2 in a row. Carey with the basketball, back out to Keel against Trey Cranston, outside left to Rose, looking down low, bounce pass to Sanger, double team, inside, Lindgren banks, misses foul. Lindgren to the line to shoot 2. A great cut by Lucas Lindgren.
Well, and Sterling just ran a simple high-low. All they did was get it to the wing, let the top person drop down on the base, send the other post player across the lane to the top, so you had a high-low action.
Jeffrey Dunker commits his 4th. Lindgren has to make 2 free throws to tie the game. First free throw is up, and that is off to the right. Sterling is killing themselves at the line. They are 3 out of 10 in this half.
I'm okay with that.
Well, let's see, maybe 3 out of 9. Either way.
I'm still okay with that.
No, they're 3 out of 10 right now. Second free throw by Lindgren is in the air, and that's good. Beat Diggers still up by 1, 30-29. Well, they were up by 1 moments ago at 29-28. We have 3:10 to go in the game. Cranston on the outside left, and Enos bounce pass towards Baker. Bad pass. Baker has it, tries to get rid of it. And what do we have now? The officials blew the whistle. Did Baker have it and call a timeout? Now they're convening near the free throw line. It was a risky pass thrown by Needens. I don't know if the ball was loose on the floor. What happened?
Sterling went for their half-court trap. As soon as it went to Bryce, he saw them verging on him to get the trap. And so Baker, who was coming across the high lane or high post area, he thought he saw him, and he did not. And then had to make this little run for it, basically. And there was a loose ball on the floor.
Baker don't want it. Beat Diggers called timeout.
He did get it, yep.
And it is a full timeout. Again, brought to you by Greg Mullen at State Farm Insurance. We'll keep it right here with 3:04 to go in the game.
I think
Brush with a 30-29 lead.
I think he's only got 1 timeout left, too, at the most.
Yeah, he's used a couple of 30s, I think, in this half, so the Beat Diggers don't have much leverage to operate with from a timeout standpoint. That's why you cannot fall behind.
Right.
But they do have the ball. Baker, Needens, Cranston, Rosenbrock, and Tormolen for Brush. It'll be Rose, Carey, Sanger, Lindgren, and Keel for Sterling. The Beat Diggers will inbound the basketball just beyond midcourt, and Rosenbrock to do so. With 3:04 to go in the game, the Beat Diggers are surviving here in the fourth quarter, scoring only 1 point thus far.
Almost unrealistic.
Well, Sterling didn't score in the second quarter until just over a minute to go. Sterling led 12-10 after 1. Beat Diggers led 21-17 at the break, 29-24 after 3. But now that lead has been dwindled to 1. So no field goals in this fourth quarter for Brush. Just 1 free throw by Jeffrey Dunker. Rosenbrock on the high left, over to Needens. 15-footer is off to the right. Boy, a fourth shot. Rebound to Connor Carey. That wasn't a great look either. That jump shot. Here comes Keel the other way. Sterling can take the lead with 2:46 to go in the game. Here's Lindgren at the free throw line, back out to Keel. On the high right to Carey. Now here's Lindgren right of the lane on the right baseline is to back it out and does to Rose. Here's Keel, left corner, Rose, wide open three, good. Ethan Rose was wide open and Sterling is the lead. 32-30 with 2:27 to go in the game. Needens the other way for Brush. Needens at the free throw line. Gonna have to back it out. It does to Baker. Baker with the basketball with 2:17 to go, looking over at the Beat Digger bench. Cross-court pass to Cranston. Branson on the high right to Needens. Needens looking down low for Rosenbrock. Can't find him. Straight away to Baker. Baker right to the lane, all the way, scoops it up, and he's fouled, even though the ball was blocked out of bounds by Sanger. But 2 free throws for Randy Baker. He was fouled, I believe, by Connor Carey with the body. Nope, I think they'll call him somebody else. Jay Keel, that's his second, but now can Randy Baker hit a couple of free throws? You know, if he misses one of those free throws, Sterling's going to take the air out of the ball. Beat Diggers have 19 fouls. Free throw by Baker is up and good. The lead for Sterling is 1. Austin Garcia and Jeffrey Dunker replace Trey Branson and Bryce Needens. Second free throw upcoming. With the Beat Diggers trailing 32-31. Baker. Ben shoots. Can he tie the game? Yes. Randy Baker, 2 for 2 for the line. It's 32-32. Keel in the backcourt with the basketball, spinning back out to Carey. In the front court to Lindgren. Lindgren double team. Overhead pass towards Keel. Keel dribbles left of the lane. Jump shot is up, and he missed it. A little 5-footer. Jeffrey Dunker with a Beat Digger rebound. Dunker across midcourt, 1:47 to go. Can't call any timeouts because the Beat Diggers are really limited in that area. Dunker on the outside left, bounce pass to Rosenbrock, guarded by Sanger. Rosenbrock dribbling towards the left baseline, back to his right, over to Tormolin. 1:34 to go in the game. Near the timeline to Garcia, bounce pass on the outside left to Dunker. Dunker with 1:29 to go, cross court to Baker, dribbles by a defender. Baker all the way, scoops it up, and he missed it all. He almost put it down, but he goes to the line for 2. Nice move by the slasher, Randy Baker. Oh, I thought it was going to be a 3-point play. The foul committed by Connor Carey.
I think he did too.
Oh, I don't think the contact affected the shot. I think he just missed it.
I think he was expecting more contact.
That's why. Baker just needs 1 made free throw for the lead, and this free throw's up, and it was well short. Whether you're in the market to purchase a new or pre-owned vehicle, Ehrlich Toyota East at 1209 Main Street at Fort Morgan will fit you professionally into the car or truck of your choice. Serving all of Northeast Colorado, Ehrlich Toyota East. Second free throw, and the Beat Diggers have the lead. It's good. Rush 33, Sterling 32. 1:24 to go from Sterling. Jay Keel with the basketball across the timeline for the Tigers. On the outside right feeds Carey, picked up by Dunker. Now to Keel. On the high left to Rose, left baseline to Lindgren. Lindgren bounce pass to Rose, fakes the 3, steps in. 15-footer is no good, and the rebound controlled by Sanger goes back up, but he's fouled as he misses. That's a big rebound for Colin Sanger and Sterling. 2 free throws would give Sterling the lead as Sanger goes to the line with 1:07 to go. Mitch Tormolin commits his 4th. Yeah, that size is just too much for the Beat Diggers.
Well, in the rule for over the back, you have to make contact first and then go get the ball. So if we're not boxing out first and then going to get the ball, they can just reach over the top. If they both jump, it's the taller person that's going to be able to come away with it.
Well, the free throw is short. Second free throw upcoming. If they miss, you got to grab the rebound. That happened to the Beat Diggers where they missed it earlier. Second free throw for Sanger is in the air, and that's good. The game is deadlocked at 33. Sterling calls a timeout.
Full timeout.
With 1:07 to go. We're at the top of the hour. You're listening to 1010 KSIR, Brush, Fort Morgan, Greeley. I'm John Beltran with Jen Goodall. Jen, it's only fitting that the Patriot League title goes down to the final 67 seconds here with Brush and Sterling deadlocked at 33. It's pretty easy to see why these teams have not lost in league play this year.
Well, and I'm betting that Sterling is a little shocked, too. They thought, well, we have height advantage. We don't really know what these guys are going to bring. So I'm sure that they're having to make some adjustments, too, that they weren't quite ready for.
And they were up by 8 points early in the game. They figured, hey, this could be a runaway.
Yeah, and, you know, Beat Diggers kind of go up and down, and they go in their shifts where their momentum is changing, and that's going to happen in basketball. It's whoever gets the biggest run and who makes the least amount of mistakes. Yeah,
regardless of the outcome of this game, Brush will be home a week from today in the Patriot League Tournament quarterfinals, and that's the big game. You win that tournament quarterfinal game, you automatically advance to the 32-team state tournament. You lose that game, then you've got to win on Thursday and Friday. Those are both elimination games. So tonight's game it's important, but it's not as important as a week from today when you'll play a weaker opponent, and you will be at home. Both of these teams will be home next week. In fact, Sterling will be home for a boys' game at 6 o'clock and a girls' game at 7:30. Sterling girls are the number 1 seed. Sterling boys will either be the number 1 or the number 2 seed depending upon the outcome of this game. And Garcia to throw it in the backcourt to Jeffrey Dunker.
And look for this little trap here. They've got them both pulled up. So look for him as soon as he gets to the corner. If he doesn't go back to the middle, they may try a run and jump there.
On the outside right, Baker with a basketball. 56 seconds to go. Dribbling to his right. Baker back to his left. Baker on the high right to Rosenbrock. 48 seconds left. Back out to Baker. Baker with 45. High left to Austin Garcia. Dribbling to his right. Garcia picks up the dribble. Looking. Back out to Dunker. 37 seconds to go. Bounce pass to Baker with 35. Over to Garcia with 32 against Kiel. Now to Baker. Baker with 28 seconds to go. Finds Kyle Rosenbrock. Rosenbrock with 24 seconds to go, just beyond the timeline. Dribbling to his right, feeds Baker. Baker nearly double-teamed, dribbles to his left out of traffic. Baker looking, jump pass to Dunker. Dunker, he had a lane there with 14 seconds to go. The Beatnikkers are going to be playing here for overtime. 10 seconds to go now at timeout. Right. 10.9 to be exact. Called by Ken Garcia. I thought Dunker had a lane there. There was one defender between him and the basket, but maybe a draw the foul.
Well, and as you're thinking as a coach, you can go overtime, but if you run the clock down enough and you don't give them that good of a chance to rebound it or go to the other end, and you go to overtime, oh well.
Right. I mean, and I said they're playing for overtime. Right. They're playing for the final shot.
Right.
So we know they're not playing for overtime, but they've got 10.9 seconds to go, and the Beatnikkers to inbound it.
Now the curious thing is that they're both in the bonus. We've put Sterling in the double bonus, so they get 2 free throws where we only get a 1-and-1. So, Sterling coach, what do you tell him? You tell him to foul right away, give him a chance to score, make him shoot at the free throw line, or do you let it play out?
Well, the one thing's for sure, you got to tell your team, if we miss the shot, do not commit the foul.
Right.
Rush cannot commit. Neither team can commit a foul.
Right.
Because it would put the opposing team to the line, but Rush is in a worse situation than Sterling because, as you mentioned, it's the double bonus,
right,
as opposed to Sterling, which has committed only 17 fouls.
But if you want to be a gambler, you tell them to foul right away, leave some time on the clock where you can get, and they'll possibly miss free throws, and you get the opportunity to go to the other end.
That timeout brought to you by Greg Mullen at State Farm Insurance, Home Auto, Life, and Health. Give Greg Mullen a call, 842-4555. 10.9 seconds to go. Rush basketball just beyond midcourt. Deadlocked at 33. Austin Garcia to throw it in. And the crowd is standing on one side. Garcia to inbound it. Backcourt bounce pass to Dunker. Dunker will cross the timeline with 8 seconds to go. At the top, to his left with 5. Dunker with 4. Puts up a 15-footer. No good. The ball is tipped around. Rosenbrock had it. It's going to go to overtime. The game goes to overtime. Brush 33, Sterling 33. We're back in 1 minute on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. The Beatnikkers and Sterling Tigers going to overtime, and Sterling, John Beltran, along with Jen Goodall. Brush 33, Sterling 33. The Beatnikkers will have Jeffrey Dunker, Randy Baker, Mitch Tormolen, Kyle Rosenbrock, and Austin Garcia. It'll be Ethan Rose, Jay Keel, Connor Carey, Colin Sanger, and Lucas Lindgreen for Sterling. 4-minute overtime. Sanger will jump center for Sterling and Tormolen for Brush. A 3-inch height advantage for Sanger.
Well, and the other good thing about this, actually for both teams, is what happens in the playoffs. There's a lot more close games, so the experience plays a bigger role.
Beatnikkers got to watch out that Sanger doesn't have a long tip. The Dunker's staying back there with Jay Keel, but you know that Sanger more than likely will win this tip. And Tormolen got a piece of it, but taken by Lucas Lindgreen of Sterling. Here come the Tigers in overtime. On the outside right with the basketball is Sanger. Over to Lindgreen in the left corner. Here's Keel. Back out to Carey, guarded by Baker. Carey, cross-court pass to Lindgreen. At the top for Rose. Rose against Garcia. Back to his left to Carey. Fakes the 3, dribbling left baseline against Baker underneath the basket. Nearly lost his balance. Kicks it way back out to Keel. On the outside right to Rose. Great defense by Baker, not committing the foul. Here is Carey at the free throw line. Back out to Keel. Left wing 3 is short. And the rebound on one hop to Jeffrey Dunker, his second rebound. Now the Beatnikkers have the basketball at 3:18 to go in overtime. Brush 33, Sterling 33. Dunker bounce pass on the high left to Rosenbrock. Well behind that three-point line. Cross-court to Tormolen. Tormolen looking for Baker. Bounces it to him near the top. Cross-court to Garcia against Jay Keel. Holding the ball up high. Garcia now retreats. Crossover dribble, bounce pass to Baker. 2:57 to go. Baker straight away on the high right to Rosenbrock. Back out to Garcia. Long three in the air is off to the left. A very ugly miss there. The rebound to Connor Carey. Carey with his fifth board and the outlet to Keel, but Garcia did nail 2 threes earlier in this game. At the top of the basketball is Carey. Hands it off to Keel. 2:38 to go. Keel dribbling to his right against Dunker. And then the ball was, I thought it was kicked around, taken by Sanger. Double team. Sanger hooks in the lane and scores. Colin Sanger has the first points in overtime. He's got 12. Sterling 35. Brush 33. 2:22 to go in the game. On the outside right, Baker with a basketball against Lucas Lindgren. Baker behind that three-point line. Maintains the dribble at the top for Rosenbrock. Rosenbrock on the high right, the chest pass to Baker. Baker looking down low. Dribbles at the free throw line. Backs it out to Garcia. Garcia with the basketball. To his left to Baker. Baker dribbling to his right. Baker with 1:56 to go. At the top for Tormolen. On the high right to Rosenbrock. Beatdigger's being very patient, and that pass is tipped away. Taken by Rosenbrock in the lane. His reverse layup is missed, but he's fouled. Oh, the Beatdigger's got a huge break there.
Well, and what he was trying to do is get it into Jeffrey, who is posting up again, a smaller guard.
Ethan Rose committed the foul, but you got to make the free throws, if not Sterling's going to take the air out of the ball. And Kyle Rosenbrock to the line here in overtime to shoot 2. First free throw is up and in for Rosenbrock. Second free throw upcoming. And that is Matt McNear into the game for Connor Carey. The Beatdigger's down by 1, 35-34, 1:48 to go. Second free throw is up, and that's off to the left, and the rebound is controlled by Colin Sanger. Let's see how much time Sterling takes off the clock. I wouldn't even shoot the ball. You got 1:40 to go. Over to Lucas Lindgren. No shot clock in high school basketball. Force the Beatdiggers to foul and get to the line. But the Beatdigger pressure defense can maybe force a turnover and avoid that situation. Ethan Rose against Rosenbrock, dribbling to his right. Then that pass tipped away, taken by Sanger. Jump pass to Rose. Down low, the ball is lost by Lindgren. And it's intercepted by Jeffrey Dunker. Across the timeline, 1:16 to go. Dunker cross court to Garcia. Garcia with 1:12 to go. Down low for Dunker. Dunker in the lane, spins. Backs it out to Baker, penetrating left baseline, scoops it up, and he misses a wild shot. Dunker has the rebound, though, coming away with the basketball. Dunker down low to Baker. Baker misses, but he's fouled.
Actually, that was Tormolen.
Check that. That was Tormolen. A lot of traffic down low. Tormolen to the line. Yeah, I'm running so many stats here.
Yeah, I think he got popped in the nose, too. He keeps trying to wipe it like he's got...
Foul on Colin Sanger. Got to make one free throw of your Mitch Tormolen to tie the game with 1:02 to go. First free throw is up, and that is off to the right. Oh, boy, here we go. You got to make the second one. If not, Sterling again is going to take time off the clock. Second free throw for Mitch Tormolen to tie the game is up, and good. Brush 35, Sterling 35. Timeout brought to you by Greg Mullen at State Farm Insurance. It's a Beatdigger timeout. Well, Jen, we saw a triple overtime game a couple of years ago. That was in an elimination situation. This is just for the top seed in the Patriot League tournament. And I guess it's good because neither team will play for a week. So you can just let it all out.
Right.
They'll have byes coming up on Friday in the opening round. 5.5 minutes to go in Brush. The Sterling girls lead the Beatdiggers 33-30. Only a 3-point game. The Beatdiggers were down by 10, 31-21, so they put together a huge run. A 9-2 run in the first 2.5 minutes of the fourth quarter. Lady Diggers, if they win that game and Eaton beats Platte Valley tonight, then the Brush girls would be the 4th seed and play at home against the 5th seed Platte Valley coming up a week from tonight. If they lose that game, then Sterling still wins the league. The Brush girls would travel more than likely to Kersey a week from tonight at 6 o'clock right here on 1010, as well as KSIR.com. Now Sterling has control of it. They can take the final shot. McNear, Keel, Rose, Sanger, and the inbounds passer Lucas Lindgren. It is Garcia, Dunker, Baker, Tormolen, and Rosenbrock for Brush. Lindgren in the backcourt to inbound the basketball to Keel. You got to watch out. They might take a shot well before the end of this game, trying to get one of those backdoor cuts and lull the Beat Diggers into a false sense of security that they're just going to hold the ball. Rose with the basketball, 48 seconds to go, on the outside left to Sanger. Sanger dribbles into the lane, jump pass is tipped away, but he's got it right back, and then he was fouled as he leaned. It looked like it was a tie-up. They're going to call foul on the Beat Diggers instead. Is that Tormolen? Nope, it's going to be Randy Baker. Well, the Beat Digger fans don't like that at all with 42.5 seconds to go. Sanger to the line. He's already scored a couple of points here in overtime. One free throw will give them the lead, and this one is up, and that's good. For Colin Sanger, Sterling 36, Brush 35. 42.5 seconds to go. Second free throw upcoming for the senior, Colin Sanger. In overtime, he bends, he shoots, and he misses, and the rebound is controlled by Kyle Rosenbrock. That's his fifth. The Beat Diggers can take the lead with a bucket, but they can't wait. They can't exhaust this clock. 33 seconds to go. Garcia on the outside right to Baker. Baker with 30 seconds to go. Just holding the ball. Loves it. Oh, a terrible pass. And a foul by Dunker from behind as the ball was taken by Ethan Rose. That was an awful pass. There was no chance there. Dunker fouls out in a double bonus situation. That was a brutally bad decision. There was no chance.
Well, not when you have kids that are 6 foot.
Yeah,
whatever.
You're better off throwing it off the backboard.
Right.
So Dunker is out. And now, if Ethan Rose hits 2 free throws, the Beat Diggers need a 3, 26.4 seconds to go. Let's see if he misses one. That first free throw is good. Rush has plenty of three-point shooters. You got Bryce Needhams into the game. Austin Garcia is a good three-point shooter. Kyle Rosenbrock can hit the 3 as well, but it's a 2-point lead for Sterling. 26.4 seconds to go. 37-35. Second free throw coming up for Ethan Rose. And that one is up, and that one is around and good. Timeout. Again, we'll keep it right here. The Beat Diggers need a 3 to tie the game. They might go for the quick 2 if they can get it. Trailing 38-35. With 26.4 seconds to go, the Brush girls down by 5 now, 37-32, with 2.5 minutes to go in Brush. So both Beat Digger teams right there with their Sterling opponents, but they're both down now. That game is in regulation. This game is in overtime. A timeout called by Sterling. For the best prices and special offers on top quality car parts, visit Central Auto Parts, 1001 West Platte Avenue in Fort Morgan. And look to the team at Valley View for rehab, short-term, or long-term care needs, 815 Fremont. Call them at 867-8261. And, of course, the friendly staff at High Plains Bank in Wiggins can assist you with a home loan, equity line of credit, commercial loan, or checking account to receive hometown service in a higher plane. Visit High Plains Bank today. And Brush, for the most part, is taking decent care of the ball. They've committed just 13 turnovers, and Sterling has 20 in the game.
Well, I was trying to see. I can't tell, but I wish I had binoculars from where we're sitting so I could see what Coach Garcia was writing on his whiteboard there. Now, they need to get him out, otherwise they're going to get in trouble for delay of game.
Baker to throw it in out there with Garcia, Rosenbrock, Brown, and Needhams. Brown can hit the 3. That's why he's out there.
Yep.
So you've got, in fact, all the Beat Diggers on the floor can shoot the 3. But they need it right now. They got to be patient. Baker with the basketball. 22 seconds to go. They can't be too patient. Down to 19. Baker right in the lane. Back out to Needhams. Lost the basketball. Got it back. The 3 is up, and that's an air ball. Taken away by Lynn Green, and he's fouled by Baker. 11.3 seconds to go. And if he makes a free throw, that more than likely is going to wrap it up for Sterling here in overtime. Oh, that look was not in rhythm because Needhams lost the ball and got it back. Yeah, you want a 3 in rhythm, and that certainly was not in rhythm. Beat Diggers led at halftime. They led after 3, but they're about to drop this decision here to Sterling. Unless Lynn Green somehow can miss 2. 1 out of 2 from the line so far. This free throw's up. That's short. Still a shot. Well, if he makes the second, you score quickly.
Right.
But if he misses the second, got to go for the 3. Second free throw for Lucas Lindgren. He spins. He shoots. He connects. 4-point lead for Sterling. Beatniggers going to need a 3 here to draw to within 1. And I believe the Tigers have called a full timeout. And I would apply the pressure in the backcourt just to make it that much more difficult for the Beatniggers to advance into the front court. This game was deadlocked at 33 going into overtime, but Brush has been outscored 6-2. And now they pretty much need a miracle. The girls were able to get that miracle in Estes Park. But Estes Park on the girls' side is not the caliber of the Sterling boys team, which is going for their 16th win of the year. And let me tell you, this could affect Brush's seeding going into the state tournament if they get that far. Because you lose 2 games in a row, you're 16-3. You still should get a home site, but they can't go out early in this Patriot League tournament. They've got to get to at least the Patriot League tournament championship game. That would give you a record of 18-4 and probably be good enough to secure a top 8 seed. But if they lose early in that tournament and make it into the state tournament, they might end up on the road. Despite an outstanding season, Garcia to throw it in with pressure. Yeah, I bet here's the bounce pass towards Baker. The clock starts across the timeline with 9, with 8. Baker at the top into the lane, kicks it back out. The Jake Brown 3 in the air is no good, and the ball is rebounded, and there's going to be a foul in the backcourt. Dylan Manuelo has it, and Sterling is going to win the game in overtime. Only 1 second to go. And the foul was committed by Colby. Check that by Bryce Needham. That's his first. But the Beatniggers will go down to defeat tonight in Sterling.
Well, that was a great look that Randy flashed in and gave it to Jake. Jake had a good look. It was open.
Well, they just couldn't hit this one. Free throw by Manuelo is up, and he bricked it. Second free throw upcoming. It's really academic at this point. And that one is up. That's off the back of the rim, and that's the end of the game. Sterling has defeated Brush tonight, 39-35 in overtime. Let's take a 2-minute break right here on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran, Jen Goodall back at Sterling High School, where the Beatniggers have gone down to defeat for the second time here in 4 days. They lose to Sterling in overtime, 39-35. Beatnigger post-game show is brought to you by Buildings by Design and Brush, which takes pride in their workmanship and quality of their relationships with clients. For a free bid, call Pat Walter, 842-5837. Building today's business, Buildings by Design. The Beatniggers trailed Sterling 12-10 after 1, but led 21-17 at the break, 29-24 after 3. But were outscored 9-4 in the fourth and 6-2 in overtime. Again, only 6 points in the final 12 minutes of basketball. They're lucky they were even that close as they lost the game, but their defense was excellent, 39-35. Visiting Beatniggers were led by Austin Garcia with 10 points, Jeffrey Dunker at 9, 7 points in the game from Kyle Rosenbach, Randy Baker with 5 and 2 apiece for Mitch Tormolen and Trey Cranston. And as for Sterling, they got 13 points from Colin Sanger, 8 in the game from Jay Keel, 7 points from Ethan Rose, 4 apiece from Connor Carey and Lucas Lindgren, and 3 points from Matt McNear. Rebounding situation, the Beatniggers grabbed 20 rebounds, but Sterling did have 28. Sterling was led by Sanger, along with Lindgren with 6 apiece. Mitch Tormolen led Brush with 7. Sterling committed 20 turnovers in the game to 13 for Brush. At the free throw line, Sterling was a shade under 50%, 10 out of 22. The Beatniggers were at 67%. They were 10 for 15. Sterling has won the Patriot League regular season championship now on both the boys and girls side, so they'll play a week from today right here against an opponent to be determined, 6 and 7:30. The Brush boys are the second seed as they will play at home a week from today. And again, that's in quarterfinal action against an opponent to be determined. Both teams now are 16 and 3 on the season. The Beatniggers lost their second straight. Sterling at 10 and 0 in league play. The Beatniggers at 9 and 1 as the regular season concludes. And you do lose your final 2 games, but They lost to Yuma by 6, to Jefferson Academy by 3, to Sterling by 4. It's not like they were blown out in any of these games. They were close games, and hopefully they learn from these last 2 games, Jen.
Well, and anytime you have these close games, that's what tournament time is for. Rarely do you see the last games be blowouts by either team, because you're playing better and better competition as you're getting closer to that championship game. So hopefully they don't go back to the drawing board with this one, have a good week of practice, and come back ready to go, whomever they are going to play.
Well, and apparently just got the word from Paul Acosta that the Sterling girls beat Brush 39-35. Same score in Brush, as we just had here in Sterling. So both teams go down to defeat by 4 points. So the Brush girls are cemented as the 5th seed. So our next game is going to be a week from tonight, and that'll be at 6 o'clock, again, right here on 1010, as well as KSIR.com. Lady Diggers will be on the road against either Eaton or Platte Valley. More than likely, Platte Valley, if Eaton wins that game tonight, at home against the Broncos. So the Bee Diggers, with a valiant effort tonight, but just couldn't get it done there in the end. They had the lead. And you got to credit Sterling. I mean, they held down Brush as the Bee Diggers were able to hold down Sterling for a good portion of the second quarter. Sterling went over 8 minutes without scoring. Well, I find it hard to believe, Jen, that these two teams can't make it to the final 8 as good as their defenses are. The offenses might be the issue with both teams, but certainly defensively, they're good enough.
They are good enough, and we haven't seen everybody, and we haven't seen a lot of the Metro League players, but, I'd put our kids up against anybody.
Well, Ken, Denver's the number 1 team in the state, according to the Denver Post, but they haven't had overly convincing victories either. In fact, against some common opponents, they've had similar victories to other teams, but the Bee Diggers have actually been more dominating against common opponents than Ken Denver. But all that is thrown out the window. I mean, if you can get to the final 8, you get to the quarterfinals, you see what happens at Moby Arena, and maybe the Bee Diggers can advance all the way to the state tournament, but now they're going to have to go on essentially a winning streak of 8 games to go all the way. 2 would be in the 3 in the Patriot League tournament, 2 then in the district tournament, and then 3, of course, at the state tournament. But one step at a time, as the Bee Diggers are the 2nd seed going into the Patriot League tournament quarterfinals. The good news for Brush is that they will play at home a week from tonight, once again, against an opponent to be determined. The Brush girls, after losing by the same exact score tonight, 39-35, will be on the road as the 5 seed, and we'll have that game right here on 1010, as well as KSIR.com. So we can tell you for sure that both teams will be playing a week from tonight at 6 o'clock, and since the girls are on the road, we'll have that game as we're joined by head coach Ken Garcia. We're just saying, Coach, I mean, it's we know why both of these teams are ranked in the top 10 in the state. The defense tonight was just outstanding. I mean, virtually every shot was contested in this game.
It was a terrific game. I mean, I couldn't be more proud of our kids. They fought tooth and nail all the way down. And, in the end, it was just a couple of small things, a box out here or there, free throw here or there. But, wow, what a great game.
Well, you probably figured that it was going to be tough to win the rebounding edge because you had a 6'6", 6'5", 6'3". I had you out-rebounded by 8 points, or 8 rebounds, I should say, but how would you assess that area considering that you were certainly at a size disadvantage?
Certainly, and it was a battle inside, and, there were a couple that could have gone either way. Maybe an over the back or, something like that. But, a tremendous effort from our kids. I thought that they fought, as hard as they could, and we had opportunities down the stretch. We had the ball, take the last shot, just rimmed out, didn't get it done. But we certainly battled inside, outside. Offensively, obviously it was a struggle because of the good defense that was played, and they've got some size. There's no doubt about that. But, like I said, I thought that our kids took it to them, and we did what we needed to do, and we just fell a little short this time.
Did you feel at any point that you were starting to gain control of the game? There were a couple of times you went up by 4 or 5 points. I mean, not in blowout mode, but that, okay, we've gotten over the hump. You're down by 8 early. You closed the first half on a 17-5 run. You've got that 4 or 5 point lead in the third quarter, and in the fourth quarter, obviously that was the difference, but it looked like you said, maybe 1 or 2 baskets away, not only from winning the game, but maybe taking control at some point.
Yeah, we had a couple of good runs, but, at the same time, I figured they were going to come back and have a couple of runs on us too, and we were hoping to just minimize it because, they're a very well-coached team, and they're very disciplined in what they do. And, as you saw, they were just, they would pass the ball around until they saw a weakness and they tried to attack it. And I thought we did a very good job of shutting that down and limiting them to 39 points.
What was the message there in the huddle when you were down 12-4? Jay Keel just made his second straight three-pointer. You called an immediate timeout to stop that run. And then you essentially, from that point on, held Sterling scoreless for well over 8 minutes.
Well, I gave him a little stern message that, that
more about effort.
Yeah, that we could play better in what we're doing and getting up and pressuring them a little bit more. And, we were playing man early. I wanted to see what they were going to do to that. And we put in a couple of special defenses here to see what we could do. And then we switched to that. So I thought it was just rotating our defense and giving them a message that, that we need to step up, and it's time for us to play a little bit harder, and I thought the kids got the message and did a nice job.
You took 15 free throws. I would assume pretty pleased with that number. I mean, you'd always like to take more, but it's so hard just to draw fouls on players that are so much taller. I mean, it looked like there was a concerted effort to get the ball to the basket. I mean, they did have a few block shots, but at least it looked like it was a decent inside-out game at times.
We didn't want to let their size intimidate us in terms of going where we needed to go with the basketball, and that was inside. So, a couple of times again, I thought we got hit, didn't get the call. A couple other times they blocked our shots. That's the way the game goes. But, when it comes down to it, it's a tie game, and we've got the ball. And if we just execute or, get a shot to drop, get a little luck going our way, then the game's in our favor. So, I'm really pleased with the way that our kids played and the effort that they put out there. And like I said, it'll be nice to get them on a neutral court maybe, where they had a little advantage here in their home court and see what we can do against them again. So I'm really looking forward to that opportunity.
Final thing. A lot of times you'd play a game coming up on a Friday. Good to have this week off knowing that you just went through two pretty grueling games in a 4-day period in terms of how close they were.
Yeah, anytime you get to rest a little bit, I told the kids in the locker room, I said, tomorrow go get your grades taken care of, make sure you're working on your schoolwork and stuff like that. We'll take the day off and get a little bit of rest and then come back rejuvenated and ready to go for our tournament. And so, a couple of days and a little bit of rest and we'll be ready to go on Tuesday.
Ken, great game to watch. Sorry it came out on the shorter end, but let's go get them in the postseason here in the Patriot League tournament.
Definitely. Thank you.
That's Brush head coach Ken Garcia after the Beatniggers lost in overtime tonight. A tremendous game here in Sterling, 39-35. Once again, the Beatniggers back in action coming up a week from tonight. We'll have the girls game because they'll be on the road, but the boys will tip off at 6 o'clock in a Patriot League tournament quarterfinal against an opponent to be determined, and the Brush girls will more than likely either take on Eaton or Platte Valley. Sound engineer and producer of Brush Beatnigger basketball tonight. A great job done by Trenton Klimper. For Jen Goodall, I'm John Beltran. Both the Brush girls and boys lose tonight. The Brush girls lose in regulation at home, 39-35 to Sterling. The Brush boys lose in overtime in Sterling to the Tigers, 39-35. All right here on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.